What is up, Bodyweight exercise fans? It's a sunny, snowy, cold, and overall lovely day here in northern Greece. I just finished my workout, and today is the third episode of my mini-series, The 3 Biggest Excuses That Hold Us Back from Working Out and How to Get Rid of Them. And specifically in this episode, we'll be talking about the lack of motivation, which is also often intertwined with the lack of self-discipline. So even though Rocky IV was probably my favorite motivational workout movie growing up, and sure, there will be always periods during which you find yourself feeling as motivated as Sylvester Stallone in Rocky IV training in Russia, but eventually there will be also days that you barely have the motivation to get out of bed. That's life, you know, 1 month you feel you have unlimited self-discipline, and the next you feel as if your mind has a will of its own and you have zero willpower and self-control. After trying to keep on training consistently over the last 10 years while also growing older and having more responsibilities and pressure, if there's one thing that I figured out when it comes to consistency, it's that motivation and raw self-discipline are never a viable long-term strategy for making exercise a sustainable habit. So if you can't rely on motivation, what can you really rely on? I believe that the answer to that can be found in behavioral science and carefully designed habits. Of course, this is a huge field, but today I'll be sharing with you my top 2 tips that I find work best for people who struggle to stay consistent with their workout routine and overall people who struggle with motivation and self-discipline. Tip number 1 is do it every day. I'm a big fan of high-frequency training for a lot of reasons, but a big one is definitely consistency. By high frequency, I mean training at least 5 times a week, regardless of responsibilities, of work. And I'm also a big fan of having a fixed time and standard days that you do that, because when you're always trying to figure out when will be the next ideal day to train, that you have the least amount of work, when will be the ideal time to do it, you end up stressing for one more thing. So instead, have a fixed time, standard days that you work out, and make sure that no one else prioritizes anything over it. For example, what works best for me is training in the morning before work. Otherwise, I know myself pretty well. I'll keep on postponing my workout for later in the day, because I'll prioritize other things, and I'll have to train late in the afternoon, which is also my least favorite time to do that. In other words, when you make your workout routine part of your daily schedule, it becomes something that is as questionable as brushing your teeth and as taking a shower, and it becomes part of your lifestyle. Finally, what I consider the most important aspect of training every day is the instant gratification that you get, the short-term benefits basically that keep you motivated to keep on training and build a rigid habit. Now, what I mean here is that when you train every day, you notice, first of all, how much more calm you feel during the rest of the day, how much better your mood is. You can also observe how much better you perform with work, with everything basically that requires focus, since it is very well known that exercise increases cognitive performance. So by observing all these short-term benefits, by also being happy that you didn't break your streak for one more day, you stay motivated to keep on training, and that's the best way basically to build a rigid habit. So instead of focusing on long-term goals, losing weight, building an aesthetic body, which are still okay goals, but things that take a lot more time and can end up having you demotivated and losing your rhythm to work out, you focus on the short-term goals, the things that instantly improve your daily life. And that way, the other things, the more long-term goals, are in the long run side benefits. Tip number 2 is all you have to do is suit up, warm up, and the workout is over. Another reason warm-ups are key to a sustainable routine is that you can turn them into an essential mind hack that jumpstarts your motivation for exercise. The reality is that the most challenging things during days that you're not in the mood to exercise are not the workout itself. It is everything else that precedes it. The planning, which if you train every day is something that you'll usually automate really easily, and also all those little steps of preparation prior to the workout, such as getting dressed up, putting on your shoes, setting up your equipment, and finally warming up. if you haven't noticed this, try to be mindful the next time that you're struggling to begin your workout, and you'll notice that if you manage to move past the warm-up, all the initial struggle fades away and you have enough momentum to keep on going. Brian Fogg, the author of my favorite book on habits, Tiny Habits, calls these actions starter steps. A starter step is the first step in a longer sequence of behaviors. For example, opening your sketchbook is a starter step for working on your drawing skills. Setting an apple on a kitchen counter instead of cookies is a starter step for eating something healthy. And putting on your exercise clothes and warming up are starter steps for working out. Starter steps remove mental friction and the brain's tendency to make excuses when it feels intimidated by a complex task. It's kind of like tricking yourself. So the next time that you don't feel like working out, break your workout down into 2 steps. Step number 1, simply tell yourself, I'll just put on my workout clothes and I'll see how I feel. Next, if you feel a bit more motivated, tell yourself, I'll just go through the warm-up and I'll see how I feel about the rest of the workout. In other words, when you don't feel motivated to train, avoid committing to the whole workout in your head and just try to put on your favorite workout shirt, a pair of sweatpants, and get a few warm-up exercises before you decide if you'll be working out today or not. The best workouts to jumpstart your motivation are ladder-based workouts. These can be done even without a warm-up, since the warm-up is sort of incorporated within the workout. I have a couple of these on my channel, which I'll include below, but today I'll be sharing with you a really simple one and my favorite one when I'm feeling really unmotivated. In a nutshell, we'll be doing a push-up ladder, but instead of resting on the floor in between reps, we'll be resting, pausing in a plank position. So start off with 1 push-up and pause for 1 deep breath in a plank position. Next, go for 2 push-ups and rest for 2 deep breaths, and so forth. Once you reach the top, meaning when you can't do any more push-ups with good form, let's say you managed to get 6 push-ups, go back down in the same fashion. For more intermediate trainees, you can go up the ladder by adding 2 reps at a time, and for more advanced trainees, you can also try adding 3 reps at a time. That was all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and the workout. If you have any questions or any personal tips for days that you're feeling low on motivation, please leave them below. Another thing that I have going on these days is the Strong and Lean Over 30 Bootcamp, which I'm launching once again. Even though I call this a bootcamp, it is not something that is based on raw self-discipline and motivation. Rather, it is based on habit formation and systems, things such as the stuff that we discussed today. You can check that out below as well. I have a link. I have a free video course. And if you want to get started with us this Monday, basically in 2 days, make sure that you sign up. That was all for today. And until next time, keep on training.